Hi, I've had a couple questions about printing items in reverse. So first of all, recognize that Google's a really useful feature here. I just put in how to print reverse list in Python. We get top answer from Quora. To reverse a list in Python, you want to use the reverse method. My list equals square my list, right? So square brackets. There are 5 items in this list, or 6 items, 0 through 5. My list dot reverse, and then print my list. That code, what that will do is actually will reverse the list as opposed to actually printing the item in reverse. We come further down, Python list, built-in functions, reversing list in Python. I just saw this word slicing and I kind of recognize that that's probably what we're talking about. It slices the whole list proceeding in reverse order. Now, part of this is just getting used to what Python is. But you do want to use the web to be able to research various features. But I'm also happy to receive your questions. So lists are going to be extremely important in this course. I've created a list. I've got a list of items: apple, banana, coffee bean, durian, eggplant. Note that I can print my list and it will print everything out. So if I do that, we see it prints out each individual item in the square brackets. So it's not formatted nicely. Note that a list can also contain various items. So this is a list of strings, but I can also, if I want, I can add an integer in there. If I run that, and I've got the integer inside of that as well. So lists are not restricted to one data type. So my list is the data type itself is list, and it currently contains both string and integer values. Note that if I take my list and I apply the reverse method to it, and I now print my list, it has indeed reversed it. But not only has it printed it in reverse, but it's actually reversed the actual content. So my list is now the data that's being stored in memory has actually reversed, as opposed to keeping the data intact in the regular order, but simply printing it out in reverse. And I think our question is kind of referring to that. So let's look at how we actually print the data out in the reverse fashion without actually reversing the my list. So there's 2 ways. I'm going to show you the way that maybe gives us a little bit more insight into lists. Recognize that my list has got individual items and they're contained in an index. So apple's located in position 0, banana is in position 1, coffee bean is position 2. So if I want, I could print out the item in position 2 by printing my list 2, and that should now print out coffee bean. Sure enough, it's printed out coffee bean. I can also, and sometimes we refer to that as a slice. So I've taken out slice 2. I can also print out items from the 0th item up until but not including the 2nd. So that should now print out the 0th first item. So 2 items, apple and banana. If I run that, it prints out apple and banana. If I don't include the number 0, it's just assumed to be 0. So this will print out the same thing, apple to banana. If I start at 0 and I don't include a number at the end, it's going to assume, or let's start at, say, the 3rd item, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it should now print out the 3rd item and go all the way to the end. Durian, eggplant, and 1. Durian, eggplant, 1. Sure enough, that works. I can also print everything up until the last item. So this is in position last 1. So it's not going to include the 1. It should print out everything up until eggplant. Everything up until eggplant. And I can go to the -3rd. So that's the -1st position, -2nd, -3rd position. So it should print out everything up until durian. And sure enough, that's what it's done. So these colons are extremely useful to print out what we call slices of our data. And of course, I could also print out, from the 2nd until the 5th item. Oops, 2nd, 5. Coffee bean, durian, eggplant. So we can harness this concept of, in this case, slices, but I can really talk about this idea of index, right? So if I wanted to print in the reversed list, I could kind of print the last item. If this, let's take a look actually at the length. I wonder how long my list is. So the length of my list, how long is it? It's 6 items long. I don't know if you can see that, the number 6. So that means I should be able to print, the 0th item, the first item, the second item. So it's 6 items long. Actually, let's count that. Apples 1, bananas 2, coffee beans 3, durians 4, eggplants 5, and 1 is 6. But they're contained in the 0th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions. So if I wanted to print every single item out, I could iterate through the 0th through 5th number. So now what I'm going to do is page unresponsive. Wait. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause because my item is unresponsive. Oh, it's just slow. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Let's see if we